Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. We're doing a vehicle inspection. This one's a 2003. It's got the 1K Z motor. It's a 5-speed manual. This is Wayne's vehicle. It's done about 280,000 Ks, 283 maybe. So we've been under it, had a quick look around. I wouldn't say it's been looked after badly, but it hasn't had a lot of, let's say, preventative maintenance done. You can see on the chassis here, it needs a bit of maintenance, a bit of a clean up to help prevent that little bit of rust that's happening there. Okay, not a big deal. It's on the original suspension, that's what I mean. It hasn't had the maintenance done. It's still riding on the original coil over strut shockers, whatever you want to call them, right? Not ideal, but they're awesome, these vehicles. Have a look at the drive shaft, still good. There's a little bit of play in the wheel bearings. Of course there is, because 283,000 Ks, we recommend 200,000. Don't try and get wheel bearings off us until the 12th of July. We're taking annual leave because I've said don't buy injectors. You can't get the right genuine stuff. Well, you might be able to, you might get lucky, but don't risk it for the biscuit. We're doing a service on this. Okay, look at that, 2003, and it hasn't got the oil on the boot. So they don't all, with that little slight leak at the steering rack, doesn't mean they all get bad and it gets worse later. You just got to keep an eye on it. They don't necessarily get worse later. It can just stay the same forever, very minor. Of course, it's got the original control arms. The bushes are getting a bit flogged. You can see these ones, right? See that little bit of, you know, it's kind of like, you can see the cracks in there. Not the end of the world, but it's time to start saving. It is time to replace them. Guess what? I recommend every 250,000 Ks, funnily enough. The recommendations are based on factual stuff, what we see. See that bush there? It's split about halfway through from the, see from the right side? It's almost about, it's about 45% of the way through, right? Now this one, you're gonna see the same, the opposite, right? From the left side, split in about 40% of the way. So time to start saving, replace lower control arms soon. Time to replace front wheel bearings. Time to replace suspension. It's actually long overdue to do those things. Now we're not going to lube this drive shaft. You can see it's been well lubed. It's been cleaned. Someone's been up here wiping all the excess grease off. That's good. And we can see fresh flick of grease coming out. Certainly doesn't need any more at the moment. So we're not going to lube that as part of our service. There's plenty going on there. Let's just take a look at it from the back. Take a look, take a look. So it's not like a rust bucket or anything. There's just a little bit of that rust that needs a bit of maintenance at the front there for whatever reason. You could do with a bit more cleaning up. I wouldn't say it does a lot of off-road, but it's been on some dirt roads maybe, and it's been wet and it's a bit sandy and stuff up there. Not a big deal. Bit of cleaning, a bit of suspension. Looks like he's got the nice new awesome BFG tyres, off-road grip. Again, original suspension. Just have a look at it. Just so old. 18-year-old suspension. I mean, it's good stuff, but again, see, there it is, 18-year-old suspension. That fuel filler hose, rock hard. Let me show you the crack. You can even see it, right? Look at that crack there. That's what we're talking about, right? So you go off-road with that, start banging that around, that splits open. When you got a full tank, you're gonna have fuel splashing out there, right? You're gonna have a problem. So fuel filler hose needs to be replaced. So what do we got on the list so far, guys? We've got lower control arms, front wheel bearings, a suspension kit, and a fuel filler hose. Is that right? A bit of cleaning, bit of rust prevention, a little bit of paint work to tidy it up. Sounds like something that Martin at Select can take care of, no problem at all, because we certainly haven't got the time to fit it in on this visit. This vehicle has come down from Sydney. The gentleman's working in the area and asked us to have a look and do what we can in the time we've got. We just haven't got a lot of time, unfortunately. So this is a report on the vehicle. The transfer case is dry. None of this is oil leaks. It's just a bit of grease. No issue there. 5-speed manuals are pretty good. They can get a squeak. I believe there's meant to be supposedly a squeak at the bearing. I haven't checked it yet, but that'd be right. So it might be time for a clutch. I don't know if it's been done before. Let's look at the bolts. It's probably original. Guess what? Probably due for a clutch. So no big deal there. I'm just looking at the bolts. I could be wrong. Taking a look to see if it looks like, because usually people butcher stuff up, right? Look at these bolts. They look pretty original to me. I don't think it's been out, so it's just wear and tear. Time for a clutch, normally about 230,000, so you've got the bonus 50,000 Ks out of it, unless I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. Just looking at the wiring up there, has it been messed around? I could be wrong, I don't know, right? It looks original to me. It looks like it's had plenty of lube, that's good. Underneath the vehicle, that's all the issues that I can remember that we've sort of seen and picked up on. We'll have a bit of a look around underneath, but these vehicles, there's a bit of a clip of something that's been broken at some stage. So whenever that got broken and where that clip went missing, that's where it's at. Brakes have still got plenty of meat for now. You don't need to worry about that. You can have a quick look in there, whatever. Right? Not that you can see much, but look, I can see it. I know what the fronts are like. They're near new. They're at least 80%, let's say. Have a quick look at this one. Yeah, near 80%. We'll have a quick look back down the back here again. Okay, they're about the same. So all the brakes are near new. They've been replaced not that long ago. Yeah, they're all about at least 80%. Diff oils get changed every 40,000. So should brake fluid. There's no rear fuel filter on a 1KZ. See that, guys? It's not there, right? See, it's non-existent. Not on the 1KZ, not on the V6, only on the 1KDs in both the 120 and the 150, or LC 120, LC 150. Turbo's dry. Yes, the 1KZs are good, but keep the coolant changes and the oil changes up to them. In case you didn't know, these are meant to have oil changes every 5,000 Ks. They need looks like maybe the radiator's been replaced at some stage. It looks pretty clean, and they do have a habit of leaking at the O-rings, so I'd guess that it's been changed. So just a little bit more cleaning up here. It's easy to get in there and clean up, rust prevention, bit of paint maybe a little bit on the bull bar as well, but it's in pretty good condition. Just needs a bit more of a clean up and a bit of a bring it up to scratch type work, so I'm pretty happy with what I've seen under there. Maybe some K-on bash plates, because you can see there's been a little bit of scraping damage there, so kon.com.au. Let's have a look around up under the bonnet and see what we can find. Okay, she's on the ground. First problem I've seen is these bull bars need to have about 20 mil, give or take, whatever. I don't care if it's 15 or 25. They might even say 25, but I don't want to be fussy here. The problem is when you've got none. And what happens on rough roads, that'll vibrate and buck up and down, and that'll hit that plastic, and that plastic will be gone, right? And then that'll add, and that's probably part of the problem, what's going on here. Yeah, look, I'm not too sure what's going on there, but this is a problem. It needs shims. That needs to be adjusted. There's a lot of wiring sitting around, you know, that I wouldn't be happy with. See all those wires there? That is nothing compared to, have a look what's going on here. Look at this. Look at this auto electrical catastrophe. I call that an auto electrical catastrophe, right? Over here, battery terminal needs to be cleaned up. More wiring and things that I'm not really excited about that at all. More wiring here. Look, you know, each to their own what you want to do. There's a green wire going across here, just sort of hanging loose, whatever. Now the engine itself, things don't look too bad. All right. Sorry, I just spewed up. I had to go and clean up some mess. I'll be quite honest, you know how I roll, guys. You know, just the old wires sitting around. The engine itself, everything looks all right. Looks like some work's been done on it. The alternator belts have been replaced, but they didn't change the aircon belt. And the owner pointed out this morning that it was a bit noisy, whatever, because they do get a bit dry, and you can see, you know, that's just going to be, you know, the old V-belt's a bit of an old design now, you know. They moved on to the poly-rib type belts, you know, multi-rib, those flat belts. These, they can break. They do stretch, they do crack, they do get noisy. You do need to replace them fairly often, and you need to retension them sometimes as well, so beware of that. They're pretty easy to adjust the alternator belt. Here's a little bonus info. There's the adjustment right there on the alternator belt. Right, so you've got a 10 mil, you've got the 12 mil lock nut on the right, that's the one with all the white on it, and then you've got the 10 mil to adjust it in and out, right? Look, I'm not going to try and tell you how to adjust belts. You don't want to over tighten it because it's going to put pressure on bearings and stuff, but you don't want to leave it loose. So you can just nip it up till the belt stops flapping around. It's probably a good way to describe an adjustment for you. This one here on the aircon, there's a 14 mil lock nut if I remember correctly, middle of the picture. And there's also a screw somewhere to adjust it, which I can't see from where I am. Let me come around here. It's been a while. I'll tell you what, 1KZs. Oh yeah, that's that big bolt up on the top there. Because see that it goes down behind there. Just trying to show you. See the bolt in behind in the gap there. Right, that's that one at the top you adjust. And that might even be a 14 mil as well from memory. And you just, that brings that pulley up. But I'm not saying to go and tighten, all of you is to tighten your belts. But when the engine's running, if you see it flapping around, kind of going blah, 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 might need a little bit more attention there. Auto electrical catastrophe over here. Green wires, whatever. I haven't looked to see what it is. I'm not here for that. I'm here to let you know, look, you know, these wires, they may or may not cause problems. Depends what they are and what they're doing. I don't like it. Sort of a bit of a Scotch lock join there is. Oh no, that's a fuse. Okay, right, that's good. We like fuses. Yeah, this wire. Yeah, can you just jiggle that around for me? Yeah, I said that at the start. You know, just rubbing around. You know, like You can't, I mean, you can. I don't want to say you can't do that because you can do that, but in my book, you can't do that, right? There's nothing else to see under here. The rest of it's a Toyota. So all the problems we see under the bonnet here are all, it's been messed around with. The wrong people have worked on it, whether it's owners, previous owners, workshops. It's been, I need this fitted, that fitted, and they just do all these dodgies, Look, I really don't know who it is, mate. Forgive me, whatever. I don't know. Look, just, whatever. Look, it's just untidy. I don't like it. I just don't like it. Anyway, I'm out here, guys. We're on annual leave until the 12th of July. No more injectors. Don't buy any injectors. Just wait until the 12th of July. Like I said, can't get them at the moment. You'll end up with the wrong thing. Bada bing, we're out of here. Please give us a thumbs up. Hopefully you learnt something about these. There's not much to see here, is there? Look, there's injectors there and a glow plug there, and we're going. See ya.